He's showing you. It's just whether or not our actions, okay, our actions are proving that we are listening. If I tell one of my players to hold their follow-through, unless her action is to hold that follow-through, I have no proof that she heard or listened to what I'm saying. Are our actions in our life proving to the Lord that we are listening, that we are coachable? Because what are the two biggest commandments the Lord said? The big ones.
Not one of them.
Yeah, you know what you're saying? I don't say that. Just love your neighbor as yourself. And has to do with him.
We should love first.
With your whole. Yeah, very good. Those are the two commandments. And they both involve love. Are we listening? Just to those two things. And do our actions in loving each other prove that we are listening and that we are coaching? In just those two actions. We all have free will, guys. We don't have to do anything. Okay? We have choices we can make, and we all have free will. Last scenario, and then we're going to break back up in our groups. The Lord went into the wilderness, didn't he? Okay, what did he do there? He fasted for 40 days. And why did he fast for 40 days? Why was he there? He prayed while he was there. And why was he there to pray? Keep just throwing out words and we're going to get there. If you sit there in silence, you're never going to get to the punchline. He prayed, he studied. What else did he do? Did he take a bunch of people with him? No. What did he do with all his friends? Huh? Told them to stay behind. Don't distract me. Leave me alone. I need some quiet time. Good. And why did he need quiet time? To think and he's talking to God. Did he agree with what God was about to do? No, he didn't. He didn't understand it. Do we have things in our life we don't understand? God, what are you doing? I don't understand. God, I don't agree. His own son didn't agree. But he went to prepare anyway. He went to prepare by fasting, by studying, by praying, by avoiding all the distractions, leaving all his friends behind, and trying to figure out in his quiet time what God's plan for him was and what he was supposed to do in relationship to it. Do we do that as Christians? Most of the time, no. But we need to. And we need to prepare ourselves, just like in preseason. We need to prepare ourselves daily for the season. And when you come back, we're going to talk about what the season entails in our real life. Okay? We've read the Bible. We've prayed daily. Gone to church. How do you think we're going to develop as human beings, both physically and spiritually, if we do that? Pretty strong, right? We're going to have a lot of strength. Okay? Now here comes the season. You know what the season signifies in your life, in our lives? What would the season signify in our lives?
Everyday walk.
And what's everything in life? The good, the bad, and the ugly? And the beautiful. Good. The season signifies those times in our life that may be struggles. Have you ever played a game that's been a struggle? Okay, where you've been tested? Okay, in the season, guys, athletically, every time you play a game, you're tested. How good are you? Right? That's what happens athletically. Well, in our lives, we're tested the same way. And we're tested and saying, how strong are we? How good are we as people? And if we haven't put in the preparation on the good days in the preseason, when these obstacles come our way, we're not going to be set to handle them. It's like starting a season without ever going in through preseason. How ridiculous would that be? But we do that in our life. A struggle comes in our life, we're not spiritually prepared to handle it, and then we wonder what's wrong with God. Now here's the problem. When I look at my basketball schedule, there are 27 games on that schedule. Do I know who we're playing? Do I know the date we're playing? Do I know the day we're playing? Do I know the time we're playing? Do I know the location we're playing? Do I have some idea by looking at the team on my schedule how good they are? Yeah, when you get to college, you'll know exactly. But I know maybe sometimes in junior high and high school it's harder to gauge. But if you're a senior and you've played a certain team for 3 years, you kind of know what you're up against. Oh, that team's not very good. We're not going to have to give that much effort. This team's really good. We're going to have to be at our best. You know that, right? So in athletics, we know when these tests are coming, don't we? And for the most part in athletics, we get to prepare for them. Don't you guys do scouting reports? Don't you guys do walkthroughs? Don't you know who the best player on the other team is? You get prepared. Don't we wish life's tests were like that? Don't I wish I knew when Mom and Dad were going to get a divorce? Don't I wish I knew when Grandma passed away? Don't I wish I knew the date, the time, the opponent? Don't I wish I knew and had a chance to prepare for those tests and those struggles before they happen? Wouldn't it be nice in a year's time if we knew how many tests would be thrown to us in our life during a year? I mean, I know we're going to have 27 basketball games, 27 tests. I don't know how many tests I'm going to have in my real life, how many times I'm going to be tempted to do the wrong thing, how many times something in my life is going to challenge my faith and my strength in the Lord. I don't know that. But I'll tell you this. If I don't prepare, if I don't overachieve in my spiritual life when things are good, I'll never be prepared to win that game come game day. I'll never be able to get through that divorce without a lot of resentment and a victim mentality. I will not be able to get through the struggles in life and win unless I have developed the practicing my faith in the off-season. What struggles do you all deal with in your lives? If you care to share. Losing family? Death? Tough. Hard to understand. Not easy to deal with. Sad. I'm not sure how strong you can be spiritually to truly accept that. But can you see the positive side of death if you're spiritually strong? Can you understand that there's something better than this if you're spiritually strong? Sure. But if you're not spiritually strong, you're going to have a lot of anger, you're going to have a lot of resentment, and you're going to have a lot of negativity in your life. What else? What else do you struggle with? What do we struggle with?